In today's class, we will see generic servlet and its methods, HTTP servlet. What is the difference between next? We will see the life cycle methods of servlets. So we will start with servlets. So servlets is a specification which is designed by Oracle people, right? So Oracle people design servlets in order to design web applications, as we know already. But who is going to provide implementation of these interfaces is different vendors. Okay, whoever is interested to provide the implementation for this, they will provide those implementations. Okay, which is nothing but implementation of servlets API. Okay, next. See, servlet is an interface, right? So you cannot do anything with the interface directly. Either you have to implement the interface or you need to extend the interface with another interface, right? Specifications are just rules and regulations, how to do. They will not explain what exactly to do. Okay, so a generic servlets, in this entire servlets, you will see all the existing interfaces and implementation classes. Okay. Sometimes you may not understand the relationship between one interface and another interface. Okay. Generic servlet. Okay. First, the interface name is servlet, and next, generic servlet. See here, generic servlet class is implementing what? Servlet and servlet config and serializable. These are all again interfaces. Okay, servlet is general interface which is designed by Oracle people. Next, this servlet is being implemented by generic servlet. So you can say that this is a class and this is the interface. Okay, so by seeing this, you can create object for this class, right? You cannot create object directly for servlet class. Okay, next we will see about what is servlet config and serializable. Serializable allows you to convert the object into zeros and ones, which is used to uh, send through the network. Okay, so though servlet is an interface, but still it contains some methods. Okay, let us see what are the various available servlet methods. Servlet interface methods. You may think that all these are see these are the methods. Destroy, init. If you observe this, you will see a parameter. What is the type of this parameter? Servlet config. So init method is taking servlet config as argument. So servlet config is again an interface. Okay. See, init method which is used to initialize the servlet. Next, service. This is the actual method which we will use. Okay. Again, this service method is having two parameters. Okay. First one is servlet request and second one is servlet response. Okay. Request means the request which is passed to the web server. Okay. మన వెబ్ సర్వర్కి వచ్చిన రిక్వెస్ట్ ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో ఆ రిక్వెస్ట్ కి సంబంధించిన ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అంతా కూడా ఈ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లో ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, ఇన్ దిస్ సర్వలెట్ ఏదైతే రెస్పాన్స్ మనం క్రియేట్ చేస్తామో ఆ రెస్పాన్స్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్, ఆ రెస్పాన్స్ డేటా ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ సర్వ్లెట్ కాన్ఫిగ్. నెక్స్ట్ get servlet config. See, in order to get the configuration of this servlet, you can call this. Okay, see here, returns the servlet configuration object which contains initialization and startup parameters for this servlet. Next, get servlet info. By this time, you will understand what is the motto of this method. In order to get the complete information about that particular servlet, we can call this method. Okay, get servlet info. What it is written in? What it is written in? String. Okay, it is written in string representation. Returns information about servlet such as author, version, and copy. Okay, these are the available methods in servlet interface. See, interface. Next, when it comes to generic servlet, okay, or we have a generic servlet. Generic servlet is implementing servlet interface, right? So generic servlet has a responsibility to implement all these methods. See, here all are just abstract. Okay, generic servlet class has to implement all those methods, and if it is required, it can also implement extra methods. Okay, it provides the implementation of all methods of those interfaces except the service method. బాగా అర్థం చేసుకోండి. I will ask you a question. Servlet is an interface. Generic servlet is a class which is implementing servlet interface. Okay, servlet interface లో ఉన్న అన్ని methods ని కూడా generic servlet class implement చేస్తుంది except service method. Okay, generic servlet is not implementing this method. Then what type of class is generic servlet? This is my question. Generic servlet is a class which is not restricted to any protocol. Okay, it is protocol independent. Why? What is protocol? It a protocol enduku vachindi because next you will see HTTP servlet. Okay, what is meant by HTTP servlet? HTTP servlet is a servlet which handles HTTP related protocol based request and response. Okay, but what about generic servlet? There is only one protocol called HTTP. Okay, as of now, HTTP is the only protocol that we are using. Okay, suppose tomorrow another protocol came into picture. Okay, how can we use those newly came a protocol? How can you make what we can say? How can you provide the functionality to use the new protocol? కొత్తగా ఒక ప్రోటోకాల్ వచ్చింది, దాన్ని జావాలో యూజ్ చేయాలి ఎలా? హౌ కెన్ యూ ప్రొవైడ్ ద ఫంక్షనాలిటీ? సింపుల్ సార్, ఆల్రెడీ servlet is an interface. Okay, generic servlet is a class which is implementing servlet interface except service method. Okay, so generic servlet is an abstract class. Okay, we cannot create object for this class and even this class. Okay, suppose tomorrow XYZ protocol came into picture. Okay, so that XYZ protocol will implement generic servlet. Okay, so that it became other kind of means a different protocol. Okay, how many protocols as of now? HTTP and XYZ protocol. Okay, in order to handle XYZ related request and response, in order to serve XYZ type of request and response, you need to work with what? XYZ servlet. Okay, in order to work with HTTP related request and response, you must go with HTTP servlet and response. Okay, that is the difference. Generic servlet is not depend on any protocol. Okay, it is protocol independent. Okay, ఎలా అంటే you can say this as raw material. Okay, you can take raw material and you can make any kind of thing from out of that. Okay, అక్కడ నుంచి మీరు ఏదైనా ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. సపోజ్ టేక్ ద క్రూడ్ ఆయిల్, యూ కెన్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ petrol, diesel, even lot more things, right? So whatever you wish, you can do from that. Okay, so like that, in order to extract a particular thing, you need to do some process, right? Here also, in order to implement some particular functionality or some you want to implement a new protocol, then you need to create a new class and it must implement or extend this class. Okay, so that new XYZ protocol class will have the behavior of servlet. Okay, మీరు సింపుల్ గా ఒక క్లాస్ ని క్రియేట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఈ క్లాస్ ఇఫ్ దట్ క్లాస్ ఎక్స్టెండ్స్ జనరిక్ సర్వ్లెట్, then the class becomes servlet. Okay, the class becomes servlet. Though it is a class, but it is now a servlet. What is a servlet? A servlet has the capability to process the request, to handle the request. Okay, but a class cannot do that. Okay, you may create a generic servlet by inheriting the generic servlet class. Okay, and providing the implementation of service method. Why he is saying providing the implementation of service method? Why should you provide? Sir, if you don't provide service method in your class, then your class must be declared as what? Abstract class, right? Can you create object for this abstract class? Can you use that? No, not at all. So that's why you need to implement the service method. Sir, what's the problem with service method? Why don't generic servlet implement the service method? Or else why don't a new class implements the, or else servlet interface implements the service method? See, here you need to know servlet's methods and life cycle clearly. Who will create the servlet? Web container will create the servlet. When it will create? How many times it will create? Okay, so servlet will be created only once. Okay, it will be created only once and it will be called many times. Okay, see, when the servlet container starts up, means indirectly servlet is created. Servlet is created and ఏంటంటే సింపుల్ servlet object ni created. Okay, that object have some capability to accept and send a request and response to the client and to the client. Okay, that happens when the web server starts up. Okay, I will show you. See, this is the server. Okay, I just started the server. What is the server? Apache Tomcat 9.0. Okay, see the status, started and synchronized. Means it is currently active. Okay, so yesterday I created the project, right? So I just added the Tomcat to this project, right? So I just created a class. See, this is just a class. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm extending what? Generic servlet. Okay, extending generic servlet. If you observe carefully, I also implemented the service method. Okay, service method. Here, in most of the code, you will see a request and response in the parameters. Okay, because why service method is not implemented? Means creation of servlet will be taken care by container. Destroying of a servlet will be taken care by container. Okay, what else? Configuration. If you provide configuration, then okay. If you didn't provide any configuration, that is also okay. Okay, so that no problem. You don't have anything to deal with this configuration. But why servlet? Service method means different applications, different kind of things may require different kind of functionality, right? So you don't know what kind of functionality a specific application is required. Okay. So everything will be done in the service method. What type of service you are interested to do matters. Okay. So that's why these people didn't implement this service method. This is left left to the developer. Okay. If developer wants to do something, then he can do in the service method. Okay, let's complete this. Container starts up, it loads all the servlets and instantiates them. See here, loads all the servlets and instantiates them. See, at the time of instantiation only, it is taking what? Servlet config. What is config? Config means configuration. Means some settings or setups, okay, required for that specific servlet. Okay, so in order to do some setup, first you need to have what? Configuration object. The configuration object A type ante servlet config. Okay, we are dealing with servlet, right? Servlet config. So before, if you want to initialize a servlet, okay, మీరు ఇనిషియలైజ్ చేయాలని అనుకుంటే ఫస్ట్ యూ నీడ్ టు క్రియేట్ ద సర్వ్లెట్ కాన్ఫిగ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అండ్ దెన్ కాన్ఫిగర్ ద సెటప్. ఓకే, దెన్ పాస్ దట్ వేరియబుల్ హియర్. Okay, so that it will initialize. Okay, it will initiate when the init method will be called. Similar to the constructor, you need now to call the init method here. Okay, container internally will call the init method. If you want to specify externally, you can do. Okay, okay, if you want to specify configuration object, okay, then you can. Okay, otherwise you don't. Next, after this init method gets called for each instantiated servlet, this method initializes the servlet. Ela initialize chestundi by taking this configuration object. Okay, now we can identify something here. Okay, init method gets called for each instantiated servlet. How many servlets you created? You can configure that many servlets. Okay, if you are interested to configure, you can. Similar to constructor. Okay, next, service method. This is the only method that is called multiple times during the servlet lifecycle. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, this is the only method you will call again and again, again and again. Okay, this method serves the client request. It is called every time the server receives a request. Okay, from this service you will call another service. Okay, in the database programming, I showed you MVC architecture, right? MVC architecture. Different sources are there. You need to call different services for different types of requests. If a person is requesting for a profile, you need to show the profile page. Okay. If he wants to see his academic related information, a new servlet will be called. Okay, like that. This service method will be called again and again. Consider IPL. Okay, so if you take any online online website which is showing the scoreboard, okay, each time it will be refreshed automatically, right? For 10 seconds or 5 seconds or 20 seconds, it will be refreshed again and again automatically. Some sites uses auto refresh. Okay, maybe you will see auto request auto refresh option. Okay, automatically it will be refreshed. What will happen when it is refreshed? When it is refreshed, a new request will be generated and service method will be called. Okay, and in this service method, we are going to mention what to do when the request has came. Okay, we will write all the things step by step what to do in this method. Each time the service method is called means each time the request is initiated, this method will be called. Okay, whatever we write inside this service method will be executed. Okay, how many times the service request is came, that many times this service method will be called. Okay, then why we are having servlet request and servlet response? See, we can consider this as init, this as init, and this as a. Okay, integer a, like that. This is servlet request. Again, this is an interface. Okay, and this is the variable name. Similarly, this is the interface and this is the name. Okay, so servlet request. You may see number of interfaces in this API. I will show you next. Okay, why we are having these two arguments in the service method? In order to do some service, we may expect some data from the user, right? Obviously, we may expect some data. In order to do registration, we will expect the user information from the user end, right? So whether it can be a form or something else, okay? So that that data will be available in the request. In this object, the data will be available, okay? By using this request object, you will get all the parameters which is passed by the client, okay? Next, response. Response is what? After executing this service, whatever we are interested to send to the end user is nothing but is response. ఎండ్ యూజర్ కి ఏదైతే మనం రిటర్న్ లో ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ పాస్ చేయాలని అనుకుంటామో దట్ డేటా ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ రెస్పాన్స్. ఓకే, ఆఫ్టర్ ప్రాసెసింగ్ దిస్ రిక్వెస్ట్ by taking these parameters, we will do some operations and finally we concluded to do something. That something can be injected into this object called response. Finally, we will pass this response to the client. Okay, at the client end, by using this response object, he will extract, not he, internally, we will extract the data into the form. Okay, are you clear? From where I can start? Once again, tell me. So where should I start? This is the problem. If you have any doubt, you can ask immediately. Okay, don't wait for my question and then don't do like this. Okay, ఎక్కడి నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేయాలండి? మళ్ళీ ఫస్ట్ నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేయాలా? It is not possible. If you have any particular doubt, you can ask me. I will explain. Okay, let us have some example. Don't worry about all the code. Okay, don't worry about the code. Just concentrate on what I'm saying. Okay? This is the servlet interface. In order to create your own servlet, okay, మీరు ఓన్ గా సర్వెట్ ని క్రియేట్ చేయాలనుకుంటే then you need to implement the servlet interface, or else you can go with a generic servlet, or else you can go with HTTP servlet. Okay, ఇక్కడ ఉన్న example లో he is implementing servlet interface directly, no problem. Okay, he is also this is the interface, right? So this class must implement all the methods available in the servlet interface. See, he is implementing init method, he is implementing service method, he is implementing destroy method, implementing config get servlet config method. He is also implementing get servlet info method. This is how you need to implement your servlet. But see here, the difference between generic servlet and normal our own servlet. In generic servlet, it's already providing init method, destroy method, get servlet config method, and servlet info method, right? So do you need to implement all these methods again and again? Does it make sense? No, it is nothing but duplication of code. Why should you implement these methods again and again? It's a waste of time. Even you don't use these methods, right? So why should we implement? So why don't you take generic servlet here in this place? If you take generic servlet here, you can implement. We have to implement only service method. Whatever you want to do here. Okay, you don't need to implement all these. If it is required, then you can implement. ఒకవేళ మీరు ఇక్కడ generic servlet implement చేసి still you write init method. Okay, then what is the meaning of that? That is nothing but overriding. Okay, if you are explicitly writing this init method in this class, so this is nothing but overriding the init method. Okay, then whenever the servlet is created, whatever the code you written in this method will be executed. Okay, that method will be executed. Okay. Otherwise, it is simply, you can consider it as a default settings or configuration. Okay. Next, let's come to generic servlet. You may create a generic servlet by inheriting the generic servlet class and provide the implementation of service method. Okay. What are the various methods of generic servlet class? See, this is abstract class. You can say that because it is not implementing service method. That is enough. Init method, service method. See here, abstract. Because of this abstract method, this class becomes abstract class. If you attended core Java sessions, you will understand easily. Use it to initialize the servlet. Okay. Provide service for the incoming requests. It is invoked each time when the user requests a servlet. Destroy is also called only once throughout the life cycle and indicates that server is being destroyed. Next is servlet config. Returns the object of servlet config. ఏం చేయొచ్చు మీరు కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ తీసుకొని యూ కెన్ కాన్ఫిగర్ రైట్. సింపుల్గా చెప్పాలంటే కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే similar to the setters and getters. Okay, if you want to set the properties of a student class, you can use setters, set age, set name, right? Okay, similarly you can also configure. How? By taking servlet config object. How can you get the servlet config object? By calling this method. Okay. Next, get servlet info. This method will return the basic information about the servlet. Okay. Next, init method. See here, this is init and this is init. What is the difference? This is nothing but overloaded, right? Overloading. Method with same name with different arguments. It is the convenient method for the servlet programmers. Now, there is no need to call super.init of config. Okay. What will happen if you call the init method of this class? It will call the, see, this is abstract class, right? Why we are implementing init method is because it is available in the servlet interface. Okay, అక్కడ ఉంది కాబట్టి దాన్ని ఇక్కడ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తాం. This is one more method. You need not to pass the config object. Next, get servlet context. It will return the servlet context object. Okay. Next, get init parameter. Get init parameters. ఇనిషియలైజ్ చేయడానికి యూజ్ చేసిన పారామీటర్స్ ని గెట్ చేయడానికి మనం ఈ మెథడ్ ని యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, రిటర్న్స్ ద పారామీటర్ వాల్యూ ఫర్ ద గివెన్ పారామీటర్ నేమ్. What is this? See, uh, when you take the form, consider the registration form. Okay. See, this is the form. Okay. Whenever you submit this form, this data must be passed to the server side. How this data, okay, let it be ఈ data ఎలాగోలాగో pass అవుతుంది. You need not to worry about it. It is nothing, it will be handled internally with the technologies. You need not to know how this data will be passed, how this data will be converted, when it will be converted, where it will be converted. Okay, don't worry about that because you cannot do anything with this. Okay, what you need to worry about is how to get this data in the server side or at the server side. How you will get that? Simply by using this request dot get parameter by name. See what is the this attribute name label is name, right? This is how you can get the parameters. Okay. You can get these parameters by using different I think these are the available methods. Before knowing about this name and ID, you need to know about the HTML forms and labels. Okay, I already told you just learn about basics of HTML. How many of you know the basics of HTML? Because in order to see the output, you must design a HTML page. Okay, so you need to have the knowledge of HTML. Okay, not great knowledge, basic knowledge is required. How to create this text box, how to create this label, how to create the submit button, and these are enough for these classes. Okay, I will show you. Okay, because we are going to develop that, right? But it is better if you know something extra. By ID, we can get the address by ID. As of now, I'm not explaining what is ID here. Don't worry about what is add, what is name. Because this is the label name, right? So that's why I used the name as it is. Now you didn't see any ID here. This ID is related to this text box. You can identify a tag or element by using a label name or ID. Okay. So that ID is add. I will show you later. Don't worry. So that by calling get parameter by name, what you will get is you will get some data. Okay. Suppose that is actual name. That is actual name. What type of data it is? It is nothing string. So this is how you can use it. Request not to get the parameter by name. ఇక్కడ చాలా ఉంటాయి, but how you are identifying based on name, right? So similarly, identifying based on ID. Every element is having some ID. Okay, you can mention the ID. So based on that ID, we will get the data. Similarly, Similar to this, I'm getting data by expression get parameter by ID. This time we are getting the data based on ID. Here getting data based on label name. Okay. See, there is one more method called get int parameter name. What it will do? Return all the parameters defined in the web.xml. Okay. So we will discuss this later. Let's get servlet name of the servlet object. Here, what is the servlet name here? Answer this question. No, this is not generic servlet. What is the name of this servlet? First is servlet. First is the name. Okay. This is the name of the servlet. Next, log. What is log? Uh, Currently, you didn't understand what is log. I will explain briefly. At the time of working with your servlets, you need to know where the problem rises, or you need to know how the flow is going on. Okay, logging is nothing but tracking. Okay, writes the given message in the servlet log file. When a particular servlet is called, it will return some message. Okay, see here, this is taking message that is in the form of string format. Writes the given message in the servlet log file. So servlet is also maintaining one log file. Okay, in that log file, whenever it is being called, this method will be stored in that file. Okay. This is the method what I have written in the text. Next, HTTP servlet. HTTP servlet class is extending generic servlet class and implementing serialized. Okay, so it is also interface. It provides HTTP specific methods such as do get, do post, do head, do trace, etc. Do put, do delete, like okay. So do get, do post methods are part of HTTP servlet. Okay, it is not part of generic servlet. Okay. What are the various methods available in HTTP servlet class? You can directly create the object for HTTP servlet class. Okay. Service dispatches the request to the protected service method by converting the request and response object to HTTP type. Okay. If you observe this method, you will see the parameters servlet request and servlet response. Okay. You also see the same method with a different types. Same method name, servlet request, HTTP servlet request, servlet response, HTTP servlet response. Then what is the difference? See, servlet request is one type, HTTP servlet request is another type. Okay, here types are different. Okay, by using this service method, what you can do? By using this service method, you can directly take the servlet request object and servlet response object. This is irrespective of protocol. Got it? We are not dealing with any specific. We are not in any specific protocol dealing with. Okay, but here We are specifically dealing with the HTTP type servlet. Okay, that is the difference. See here, dispatches the request to the protected service method by converting the request and response object into HTTP type. So it is converting them. Okay. Here, no need to convert. We are directly taking the HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response. Okay. So receives the request from the service method and dispatches the request to the do triplex. So these are triplex methods. You can change the method names here. Do put, do post, do get, do delete. Okay. Do trace. You can replace them. Okay. So it will pass that request to these methods. Okay. Depending upon the incoming request type. Okay. Next, what are the various methods? In order to handle the do request, okay, do type of request, there is a method called do get. In order to handle post method, here we are having do post method. Okay. Similarly, do head, do options, do put, do trace, do delete, do last modify methods are available in what? HTTP servlet class. See, all these methods are not available in generic servlet. Okay. One more question to you. HTTP servlet, generic servlet ni extend చేస్తుందా చేయట్లేదా? Does HTTP servlet is extending generic servlet or not? Okay. Only one person is answering the question. Okay, one more question. By using HTTP servlet object, okay, even a class is kada, even HTTP servlet is a class. Okay. By creating object to the HTTP servlet, can I access generic servlet class methods or not? If so, why or how? What is the reason? HTTP servlet class की object create చేసి generic servlet class లో ఉన్న methods ని call చేయొచ్చా చేయలేమా? చేస్తే రీజన్ ఏంటి? వాట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ ఫర్ దట్? చేయలేకపోతే వాట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ ఫర్ దట్? This is the basic core concept which we have already learned in inheritance. Okay, no problem. We can recall. Okay. Next, life cycle of a servlet. See a small image. First, servlet class is loaded. ఇంతవరకు మనం కొత్తగా వింటున్న అంటే ఇంతవరకు వినంది ఇప్పుడు కొత్తగా వింటున్న టెర్మినాలజీ ఏంటంటే క్లాస్ ఈజ్ లోడెడ్. Do you heard about this terminology, class loading? This is not available here. Okay, this is not available to our class. We need to load the class on the fly. Okay, loading class is nothing but making it available to our program. Okay, loading class means loading it into the memory. Okay, when the web container maintains the life cycle of a servlet instance, let's see the life cycle of servlet. First, servlet class is loaded, then it is created, object is created, then we will call the init method. Okay, all this will be automatically happen when the server started. Okay. Next, this is what we are doing. Okay, what we can do is we will call a service method. And next, even destroy method is also being invoked by the container. When there is no more requests are coming, and based on based on some time or some configuration, it will automatically delete the servlet. Okay. Loading the servlet class, create servlet instance, then call the init method. If any configuration is required, you can do so. Okay. Next, after that, it is ready. Okay. Then servlet is ready to serve the request. Okay. So that you can call again and again. Okay. The request you can call again and again. No problem. At the end, it will be destroyed. Okay. By closing the server, it will automatically destroy the server. The class loader is responsible to load the servlet class. The servlet class is loaded when the first request for the servlet is received by the web container. Okay. Web container ఎప్పుడైతే ఫస్ట్ రిక్వెస్ట్ ని ఎన్కౌంటర్ చేస్తుందో, then automatically class loader will call the servlet. Okay. Call the servlet, load the servlet, initialize the create the instance, initialize the servlet, and make available it will make servlet available to service the request. Okay. Next, servlet instance is created. The web container creates the instance. See here, who is creating web container? Okay. Create the instance of servlet after loading the servlet class. The servlet instance is created only once in the servlet life cycle. Okay, it will be called only once. Because once it is created, it is already available to serve the request. Okay. But for each request, you may think that okay, new servlet is created. Okay, this is not actually happen. A new thread will be created by using the existing servlet. Okay, that multiple threads will process the multiple requests, so that you can assume that we are assuming that okay, a new servlet is created and it is actually handling our request, but it is not happening. Threading will be happening. Okay. The web container calls the init method only once after creating the servlet instance. Okay, only one-time configuration, similar to constructor. Okay, the init method is called used to install the servlet. The web container calls the destroy method before removing the servlet instance from the service. Okay, it gives a servlet an opportunity to clean up any resource, for example, memory, thread, etc. Okay, during the time of application development, we may use multiple resources. Okay, like creating objects. It takes some memory, right? Multiple requests are came, we will create multiple threads to handle the multiple requests. Okay, so that multiple threads are created. So okay, cleaning up of that threads is also a task. Okay, those will be destroyed when the destroy method is called. Okay, simply you can say garbage collector line. Similar, not exact. Now, steps to create a servlet. Okay, how to create a servlet, or how to write a small servlet program. Okay, so you need to maintain the directory structure. Okay, so I will show you basic here on this one. It is very important. Okay, I will show you with Eclipse. You need to understand the importance of this structure. The directory structure defines that where to put the different types of files so that web container may get the information and respond to the client. Even container execute చేస్తుంటారు మన application so that ఏ రిసోర్స్ ఎక్కడ ఉందో తెలియాలంటే ఫస్ట్ యూ నీడ్ టు మెన్షన్ వేర్ ఆల్ ఆర్ దేర్. ఓకే, Sun Microsystem defines a unique standard to be followed by all server vendors. Who are the server vendors? Give some examples. Sorry for the inconvenience. Give some examples of server vendors. Okay, then no. So server vendors will follow the structure. So the directory structure looks like this. Web app, web INF, classes, web.xml, a library file, HTML, static resources. Static resources means images, CSS files, and something extra, means JS files, Bootstrap files, all are okay. Let us see in Eclipse. Web app, right? Web app context. Okay, let's open the project. Don't worry about these things. Just come here, web content. Click on the web content. You will see meta INF and web INF. Web INF, right? Web app, web content, web INF. Okay, here you will see library web.xml. See, library web.xml. Okay, library folder web.xml. You will see what is this web.xml. Here you are having, you are seeing that classes folder. Right? Inside this classes folder, the actual classes will be available. But here, nothing is there, right? Under this website, web INF, you are not seeing anything. Let us open because I didn't implement this. Here also not available. Okay, let us, while we are taking classes, we will see. Actually, we write source code in the source folder, right? Here I wrote first.java. We wrote first.java, right? So basically, we write create the packages and write the all Java classes. Okay. At the time of compilation, at the time of running, we don't need Java files. What we need? Dot class files. Those dot class files will be available here. Okay. Here. See here, class files. Here, all the class files are available. You don't need to worry about these .java files. Okay. What is the difference between .java files and what .class files? .java files needs to be compiled and executed. Needs to compile. Okay. What about .class files? .class files means it is already compiled and ready for execution. Means you need not to wait for compilation. You can directly execute it. Okay. So container also looks for .class files, not for .java files. Okay. So these Java .class files will be available here. So this is the main thing. Web content. Here you will also create HTML files, CSS files, JS files, Bootstrap files, and whatever your project requires, all the external data will be available here. Okay, like this. Under web content, under this, you will create just like this. Right click on web content, click on new, click on folder. ఇక్కడ మనం ఒక HTML file తో వర్క్ చేయాలి. For registration, one HTML. For profile, one HTML. For login, one HTML. Logout, one HTML. For home screen or home page, one HTML like that. So that I am creating a folder. Name of the folder is HTML. Okay. HTML. So inside this HTML, I will try to create HTML files. Okay, here see HTML file. Click on HTML. Name of the HTML file. One.html. One.html. Okay. HTML page is created. This template is being provided by the Eclipse by default. Whatever you want to write, you can write from here onwards. Okay. Now see source package first dot Java. You can also directly create servlet. Let us see how to create a servlet. Right click on package one because I want to create the servlet inside the package one. Okay. Click on new. You can directly choose servlet. Okay. Here. If you didn't see servlet here as option, you can click on other, then type here servlet. Okay. Click on next. Give the servlet name. First servlet. Okay. Click on next. We will see about this later. Click on next. Now observe something. మీకు తెలిసిన కొన్ని విషయాలు ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాయి. Methods. Do you see this method? Okay, let us see here. What is that superclass type here? Java X dot servlet dot HTTP dot HTTP servlet. Okay, so you are not working with the generic servlet or servlet interface directly. You are working with HTTP servlet. Okay, what is the type of first servlet? ఇప్పుడు మనం క్రియేట్ చేయబోతున్న ఫస్ట్ సర్వ్లెట్ యొక్క టైప్ ఏంటి అంటే HTTP సర్వ్లెట్ టైప్. ఓకే, దిస్ ఇస్ ద చైల్డ్ టైప్, దిస్ ఇస్ ద పేరెంట్ టైప్. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈస్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ దిస్. ఓకే, you can also change ఓకే టు జనరిక్. బట్ జనరిక్ గా మీరు చేశారనుకోండి ఏమవుతుంది, సర్వ్లెట్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ లో అన్ని మెథడ్స్ ని మీరే రాయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, సో క్లిక్ ఆన్ నెక్స్ట్. Click on finish. Now observe this. Servlet implementation class first servlet. This is nothing but code. Come. First servlet extending HTTP servlet. Okay. So you need not to implement init method, destroy method, okay, config method, get servlet info method. What you need to do is just implement the service method, right? Okay, service method. But here there is no service method, right? Here. HTTP servlet is having service and service. Two types of service method. But here you didn't find service method, but instead you can find constructor. Okay, if you want to do anything, you can do. Okay, all these are comments. You can remove all the comments. This is the code. Did they written anything here other than this? No. Why super? Because this class is extending this class, right? So if you call super off, it will call the HTTP servlet class constructor. In turn, HTTP servlet class లో ఉన్న కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ కూడా సర్వ్లెట్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ ని ఇన్వోక్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, next do get and do post. Whenever you use do get method, okay, when you call get method or get request, this do get method will be called directly. It will call the do get method. It will not call the do post method. Okay, it will happen internally. So it is taking HTTP servlet request as one parameter and HTTP servlet response object as another parameter. And it is also throwing servlet exception as well as IO exception. Why it is throwing this type of exception? See, whenever we are working with the database, there is a chance of having exceptions, right? So that's why database related exceptions will be generated when we are working with database. Okay, similarly, when we are working with the servlets, there is a chance of getting exceptions, right? So in order to deal with that kind of exceptions, Java people is providing servlet exception. It will handle all the servlet related exceptions. Okay, similarly, IO exception. You can understand why IO exception we have here. Means there is a chance of getting input output exceptions. Okay, when you are dealing with the do get. Okay, so that you need to mention this, or else you need to handle them here. Okay, ఎందుకు IO exception ఇక్కడ వస్తుందంటే you need to write the data, right? See here, get writer. You need to write some data to back to the client. How can you write? In which format you will write? You will get some get writer, okay, by using response. So that by using this get writer, you will append some data. Okay, context path. Don't worry about these things. Okay, do get will handle some get methods, get requests. Okay, similarly, do post. You need not to have all these methods. You can also remove if you don't need any method. Okay, after this clear? After this clear everyone? No response. Okay. This is for today's class. We will see the continuation in tomorrow's class. Okay. I hope you don't have any doubts. Okay. For tomorrow's session, just prepare HTML. Okay. How to create forms in HTML, how to design a basic HTML form. Okay. If possible, you can design. Okay. Design the HTML form. So that tomorrow we will start HTML forms and some more basics you need to know about this web.xml. This is nothing but a deployment descriptor. Okay, you need to know welcome file list concept and load on startup, some small things. Okay, we will discuss in tomorrow's class. Okay, Dilip, can you provide the feedback form?